Hello everybody, it's the middle of April today, the 14th of April, and I'm just looking at my twin trunk fusion larch. If you remember, if you've been a subscriber for a while, you might have seen this on a few occasions. Two trees fused together. Last year I repotted it, and the one tree was sickly all the spring and into the summer, but seemed to be rallying during the winter, during the autumn rather, but sadly over winter has done this. I'm fairly sure it's completely dead. I'm still hoping against hope that it might shoot. There's still some spring in the branches, so it's not completely dried up and blur. But it's certainly not a healthy looking tree, that's for sure. They were fully fused at the base. So I'm thinking if there was any disease or something, it would probably be in this one, which is looking remarkably healthy. With the exception of one branch that has actually died off, gone brittle, and has snapped at my touch just there. So what am I doing with it? Well, I've been cleaning the base of the trunk and of all the moss and weeds that have been growing like bilio this spring, and then I'm going to give it some fertilizer and a top dressing, and that's about all I can do with it. In terms of styling, there's some wire that needs to come off, so we'll do that. Yeah, I mean, this wire on this branch, if this branch is dead, it's entirely redundant now. If I do the thumb test, that's brown underneath. Yeah, no, I'm fairly certain it's dead. I foresee a little carving on this in the summer. I will leave it until the summer, just in case it decides to shoot from down low. But my gut tells me it's not going to do that. But I've been wrong before, and it'll be a pleasant surprise. So this is a very short video, I know. But I was always disappointed that, I'd watch people do videos and take cuttings and then say, I've got 10 cuttings, and then they'd never show the results, and I'd take 10 cuttings and one would survive, and I often wonder why, and then I realised the reason they don't show their results is because they only got one to survive as well. Hence, I always like to show, let's not call it a failure, let's call it a setback. I've still got this interesting tree. I might have a dead piece here, and this will become a slanting tree with a deadwood feature, as opposed to a twin trunk larch. I can live with that. Cooper and Parker are keeping me company, and both proving to be a trip hazard this morning, in that they both decided they're going to sit right behind me, so that if I step to the side or to the rear, without checking first, I'm liable to tread on either one of them. Probably because they both know I've got a pocket full of biscuits, but that's neither here nor there. At least mischief here isn't digging holes in me lawn, which is this newfound fun thing to do. Go on, you lot, off go and play while I finish doing this. Go on. And they gone. Okay, so I've cleaned up the soil, and I'm going to add some slow release fertilizer, as is my wont. pot, so I'll give it a couple of scoops and a bit more for luck. I'm not terribly accurate with it, as you may have noticed. I'd rather underfeed than overfeed, because I can always give a top up with a liquid feed later in the year. This stuff's only supposed to last for 6 months. This tree will definitely get a repot next year, I would think. Just to, well, maybe not. Maybe if it survives and it's okay. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should I repot and look for problems below ground? Or is it just a bit of bad luck that the one has succumbed to whatever it is it has succumbed to? I don't know. Anyway, that's the tree looking tidier now. Got rid of the moss and the weeds. I really don't like the moss. Pop in the canyon for scale, you can see it was quite a significant trunk base. And I can't decide. This was my front, and I think this is still my preferred front because you've got a good sight line of the trunk. Whereas if you use this front, or this as a front rather, then you haven't. So yeah, I think we'll still stick with this as a front, and we'll check for sproutings in a couple of months, and if there's nothing, then yeah, I think some carving may be in order. So let me know what you think. Disaster or opportunity? So that's it for this one. All that remains is for me to say thank you so much for watching. Do all the usual YouTube things, the liking, the subscribing, comment below, and most of all, please, 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 stay safe everybody.